This is Maureen Kafkas, the Brain BS coach, here to tell you about the episode today. In this episode, I talk about how to manifest what it is that you want in life using the law of attraction and a few other little tools that I've learned from my own readings and studying and listening to Susan Scolin's podcast, My Soul Life, where she's doing a manifesting series. And that has inspired me to help people understand the importance of how to get what you want. And that really is up to you. So here you go. Episode number 139 of the Brain BS podcast, Manifesting with the Law of Attraction.
Do you want more out of your life, but not exactly sure what that might be? Are you longing for something, but can't quite put your finger on what it is? That is the universe speaking to you, and it is time to listen up. I'm your host, Maureen Kafkas, the Brain BS coach. I created the Brain BS podcast to help people define what success means to them and show them how to get it. I help you to let go of fear and doubt and prepare your nervous system for success. I show you how to understand your own energy and to trust yourself to make all the decisions. If you are ready to go inward and stop looking outside yourself for all the answers, this is the podcast for you. Now let's get started.
Hello and welcome back to the Brain BS podcast. So this episode, I'm going to talk about manifesting and how that relates to the law of attraction. Because I think we get a little bit tripped up when we think of the law of attraction. But before I go further, I just want to say one thing. All of these laws, all the universal laws overlap and are going on at the same time all the time. So it's not like just one situation where you're going to have the law of polarity or another one where you're going to have the law of a cause and effect and the law of resistance. All these things interact on a regular basis all the time. They're all going on. And it's what's creating the reality that you have in front of you. When we decide we want something new, sometimes it's really hard to think about what we want. Instead, we think about what we don't want. But the universe doesn't hear that when it's hearing what you want. It doesn't hear pronouns and all the extra words. All it hears is the thing that you're talking about. So if your focus is that you want to lose weight and you don't want to be fat, and you keep saying, I don't want to be fat, the universe is just hearing that you want to be fat. So you want to get really clear. It really does matter specifically what you're thinking, the language you use, and the way you visualize and dream up what it is that you want. So I'm going to use the example of bringing my dogs out to Santa Barbara and getting the house ready for them, because our house here in Santa Barbara is not the same as our house in Illinois. We can close off the front of that house and keep the dogs from being up front so that they can't bark at every single person that goes by. We don't have any dogs like directly right next to us that are a problem, that are gonna get Basil in particular barking, but we do here in Santa Barbara. We also have the issue of Ginger snores, and so does Bob, by the way, but he has literally no tolerance for Ginger snoring. That's like what we call mirroring, but that's for another episode. He doesn't want to hear her snore, so we have to figure out where they're going to sleep. We don't have the same little space that we do at our house in Illinois, but we're going to create it here. So the first step is to actually acknowledge that we're going to bring the dogs here this winter. They are coming. And so that was the beginning for me, right? Because all I could think of was all the reasons why we shouldn't bring them. And then I finally just got to the point where divine timing told me, nope, it's okay. It is time to start manifesting, getting the dogs out to California. So I have this idea of what I want. I'm picturing what it's going to feel like after they get here and after we get all situated and everything is calmed down. Because the other thing here is that we have cream colored furniture and it's late. And I wasn't thinking about dogs when I got that furniture because the dogs were back in Illinois. And I don't know what I was thinking. I just wasn't, I guess. So there's many reasons. There's also like no screen door here, and the door gets left open all the time because it's California. So I'm afraid the dogs are going to get out and, possibly get hit by a car. I don't know. There's a dog next door, a big boxer who's friendly, but Ginger will probably be terrified of her. So there's a million different reasons why I might be nervous about bringing them out here. Oh, not to mention the big one that they go crazy in the car for like 5 minutes going to the groomer. So I can't imagine getting them across the country, but I will definitely be doing episodes on that because I plan on doing that by myself with the two of them and making an adventure out of it. When you want something that you don't have, there's going to be a liminal space. Heather Platt talks about this, a liminal space from where you are now to where you want to be. It's going to be messy, uncomfortable, uncertain, and you kind of have to trust the process. That's just the way it works. So I'm envisioning what it's going to be like when they're here, when they're cuddling with me and I'm watching TV, when I get into a routine with them and we're going for walks every day and we get to go to all these places because everybody lets you bring your dog out here. And I'm envisioning what it's going to feel like because for me, that's how I manifest something. I can't see the specifics of something because my brain just doesn't work that way, or my energy, my human design. It's more a feeling that I'm going to want to have. And my feeling is totally at peace, totally fulfilled, totally feel whole out here because I've got my whole family together and I've got the dogs here and I'm not leaving them anymore for these long periods of time. Now, I can't just do that and manifest what I want. Manifesting takes action. It's not just deciding what you want. It's trusting that you're going to get, like, I don't know what I'm going to get. I know what I think I want. So I'm giving myself permission. Susan Skolin, or Susan Deal, she goes by both, has a podcast series on manifesting. It's really, really good. Her podcast episode is called, or I'm sorry, her podcast is called My Soul Life Podcast. There's lots of great episodes on there, but I in particular really am liking the manifestation series. I'm learning a lot in it, and I'm also actually interviewed in that series. So check it out because it's really good, because it made me more aware of some things that I could be doing that I'm not because I didn't think it was an option for me. So I learned in the latest episode, I think Alani, oh, forgive me if I got that wrong, but she was talking about how you visualize what you want and give yourself permission to really, really want it. But then you have to, and this isn't just her, this is like by all accounts, then you have to detach from the outcome and understand that you might not get it and it might not look exactly how you think it should. So there's a certain amount of trust in the process. But the other part of it is that it's trust in the process that it might not look the way it should. So you have to keep your eyes and ears open. I mean, that's kind of where law of polarity comes in. You think you want this stuff and then you see something that you get and you're like, that's not what I asked for. But that is what you really need to get what you really want and what's best for you. So each step along the way, you have to trust the process. You have to trust yourself to make the decision for the next step. So for me anyway, and everybody's different, there's nothing me visualizing exactly how something's going to be. I've never been able to do that. And now I understand why, because I know my human design. But I do know that the new thing that I'm trying now is giving myself permission to want the dogs to be out here, to have it be perfect, to have it to be amazing, to have the house be set up for them and all the things we need. So now we are taking action one thing at a time of what we need for the dogs to be out here. And the first thing we need is a place for Ginger to sleep so that Bob can't hear her snoring. So we got in touch with a contractor and we're putting the word out there that we're looking for someone to help us put a door on our bedroom because there isn't one now. And we want to take out this hot tub and we want to turn it into storage so we have more room for our stuff here. And I got really organized in the kitchen the last time I was here, and I cleaned up a lot of stuff, and we're replacing some things. And so we're nesting the house and we're getting it ready for this next phase, and we're doing one thing at a time. There's no question. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, when I'm supposed to do it, and I'm doing it. That's all part of manifesting, because you can't just determine that you want something and that it's just going to miraculously appear. And it doesn't work that way. That being said, the universe isn't going to give you anything that you can't handle. So you have to make sure that you have a nervous system to support it. And that's where the work comes in. That's where taking care of yourself, exercising, meditating, tapping, movement practices, pickleball, socializing, not socializing, napping, cranking out that work for a spurt of energy when the timing feels right and it feels good to you. So it's all these things combined that help you to get what you want. And then I just can't overemphasize enough the importance of trust. Trust that if it shouldn't be coming to you, there's a reason and you want to figure it out. Why? What do you need to do in order to bring this in? Because it's all out there. It's waiting for you to claim it. The universe is waiting for you to claim your abundance, but you have to be in a position to be able to receive it, which is why I think you should listen to the episode on receiving with Danielle Savory if you haven't so far, because that's so much more important than people realize. It's all part of manifesting and getting what you want. You have to be able to receive it. And you have to have the trust to know that the universe knows better than you what should be coming your way. You might be thinking that you want like this cute little house and it has a big mansion in mind for you. You just have to trust the process and be aware that you do not necessarily know what's best for you. So visualize it, want it, detach from it. Don't be graspy. Don't be like constantly waiting. There can't be urgency. That's where the trust comes in. You have to be patient. You have to keep just one step at a time, one action at a time. Keep evolving, trust your intuition, and keep moving forward. And before you know it, you're going to have it. Oh, another thing that I'm doing too is I'm writing it all down and I'm reading it every day, because a guest that came on Susan's podcast, Kylie, talked about the importance of that, but I actually haven't listened to that episode yet. But I just want you to see how I learn from other people, and then I apply what I'm learning to what I'm doing in my own life. So I will keep you posted on how this all works out with the dogs. I'm sure we're going to have many episodes about that with my little adventure getting them over here. And I look forward to teaching all of you how to manifest what is really important to you. I know you learned something valuable here today. I'll see you next episode.
Thanks for being here and learning about Brain BS. I hope you enjoyed listening to the episode as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. If you did, please take a little time to do a quick review, give me 5 stars, and share it with everyone you know. If you're actually interested in being on the podcast yourself or have questions about it, you can find me in the Brain BS podcast community on Facebook. See you next time.